comrades, it's Premier Rever, and I am back for what I consider an exciting episode. we are we are very close to starting up our bakeries for our little town here. We might actually have some people by the end of this episode. Well, no, you know what? We will have some people living in Neuve Revergrad by the end of this episode. So that's sort of like two momentous occasions wrapped into one, right? So we have all of this stuff done. We've got everything electrified as far as the track goes, though I think at first we'll just take advantage of the trains that we already have, right? Even though they're fuel based, but we'll say we could mess with them as time goes on. We have our nice new, in between the episodes, I finished up our nice train depot. Now we're not quite ready because what I needed to do was get a way that we could get some trains into here, right? And there's no crossover at this point. All right, so I mean, I could get them over to this track, but it's not really completed, and then this track goes over to here, right? And I don't necessarily, in the long run, I don't want the corn or the food trains necessarily on this track anyway, right? This is mostly my track to bring coal back up. So we also have this track, which is already better tied in, right? This is the track that's tied in for the food trains coming and going. And, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with the food trains, but like for now, they're probably going to head out this way, right? And I will bring some of them, they'll probably stop by here and then they'll continue on and they will go up to here somehow and drop off food here, right? And then they'll probably just at that point turn around and come back because we don't have our distribution system for the trains and the food set up any better than that now. So that does lead to a problem with, let's head back over this way. Currently right now we're producing food, or we were producing food near Revergrad, right? So because we're not anymore, we have to consider, how we're getting food into here. So if you look, this is one of the places that we've had the expense of food. So it really pushes up the thing to get the Revergrad distribution area going, where we put in the warehouses here and just also other stuff, right? We do have our, what do you call it, open storages, but we would want to get some other things to be distributed to here by train. But right now, I don't have a really particularly good way to bring food by train into here. So what we'll probably do, maybe temporarily, is as we move things around, we might start taking some food from here. The reason I haven't worried about it currently is because if you look, we don't have any food here now anyway. So it hasn't really been worth trucking anything anyplace, right? Because we're just not producing enough with this setup. But in the near future, hopefully we will be producing more than enough, right? When we get all of this going, I can't imagine that we won't have enough food. So I said all of that because I don't necessarily at this point picture trains coming this way, right? As far as the food trains go. And I've already built this. You guys might remember if you watched the last episode or was in the process of building this, where we now have a track that goes over, and I mostly built it just to be able to build into here, right? But I realized that, well, boy, this is really kind of the best way to get a train up into there. So with like the addition of a couple little tracks, right? Like this one, really. Now we can get trains in and out of here. Now I'm concerned about this junction here because, yeah, it's I don't want the trains here interfering with the trains here. Like, in other words, I really want to try to keep these guys on a nice, even timing. And there's almost no way I'm going to time it around both of them. So I may end up deleting this track, which is all the more reason to have this electrified, right? So there should only be, I think we might start out with 2 trains and just see. We might do a little bit of a calculation once we go to buy the trains to see. So we might start out with 1 and then get it looping around. Remember, I'm not going to be using any trains anytime soon on these 2 tracks, on this loop, the work loop I'll call it. This is the get supplies from town loop. So we're only going to have the one train. We'll just see how he does for getting everybody supplies. But then once we sort of figure, well, we're going to have, this is just one small portion. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We might even have a fifth, but that's down the road. So we're going to have 4 at least train stops. So I want to keep that all flowing. So, you know, I just don't have an actual idea of what that's going to take at this moment, but we'll step into it, right? We'll get a few people in here. They'll have to go get some stuff. We'll make sure they get there, workers and all that stuff. We may even have to bring some people into here just to get the workers closer. You know, maybe we even have to build some houses here to get the workers closer. But whatever it takes, right? You know, we'll just step into it one step at a time. But all of that can't be done until this track is built. And these guys, unfortunately, have some worker issues. I could tell they didn't have any. But then by the time you look, half the time there's a bus on the way. So, but they will get done eventually. And the track laying is pretty quick, or the electrical portion of that is usually pretty quick once they get going and have workers. So other than that, if you look, I think, you know, this is all completed now. I don't see any. So this worker loop in here is all electrified and all done. That's the other thing that happened. Now, you know, we're doing a little bit of construction around here and there, and I've basically just stopped because guess what? Have I said this before? We don't have enough steel. So I have been, just for the sake of when we go to start this test, I want some extra steel here and there. We just got a steel train not too long ago, and if you look, the train carries like 300 tons. So we're just about to the point where we've topped this one guy off, right? But we're still using a little bit of steel, so it's going to be like quite an actual while in game, and I didn't want to hold up for that long. There we go. Is our guy moving again? Good. Keep going, buddy. Get around there and get this electrified so we can buy a train and move some people in, right? Now, the other thing we could probably start getting going, and just so you know, like, not to get off the steel subject too quickly, we only have one steel train. There's not a point in having too many others, right? No steel here. And the last I looked, there's only one truck that can't really keep up with this guy, but look, no steel here. So these are the other two that I've even been working. Now there might be some steel, where is it? Over here. Does this guy even have steel in there? Yeah, this guy's full of steel here, but he goes and sends a truck out to bring steel back and forth, and I really don't necessarily want him doing anything just yet. So all the construction over here is on hold. This is on hold. Anything that I'd be doing in here just until we can, bump up our steel. Now, for a while I was working, I just kind of let everybody finish what they were working on. So this guy is still working on the coal mine. This guy's not working on anything. The coal mines, yeah, they use some steel, but it's also just a lot of work. So same thing with the iron mine. So as a matter of fact, like I don't think I would even mind. I gave this guy a couple concrete mixers, right? And is anybody working on this one? No. So let's just have him start working on this one. Because again, if we take a look, it's total of 74 steel and a few mechanical components, which equals steel, but kind of worth it, right? In the long run, because we'll take advantage of some of the workers that are just sitting around doing nothing. But we did get this one built. And this one, and that's the two iron mines, and then this is the one coal mine over here. And then over here, it'll just be a matter of getting these other things going, right? Then once we have all that steel being made, we hopefully won't have that many steel issues. Now over here, I don't think I've really shown, and I know I've looked at it myself quite a bit, but we really have, pretty much, I think, every building, unless I'm missing one. There might be some little transformer or something that I didn't see. But I think all the buildings in here are done. Now, I did, at one point build a conveyor, and I said, oh, that's just way too much. So if we come here, just click on this, way too much steel. 55 tons of steel. Well, that's only 5. But then you know, you're talking about close to 100 tons of steel, over 100 tons of steel, just to do these couple conveyors. So we're just going to hold off on getting those done because we don't have the railroad tracks in anyway, right? And let's just get our bakery fired up. Because after the bakery's fired up, we are really just talking about, you know, I think focusing on getting, you know, rail cranes in and out of here without running into each other too much so that they can get, you know, all of these projects done. And then also up here, right? And it's just all just going to come down to a matter of steel as much as anything. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention at the end of the last episode, look at our money right back up to where it was before. So the good news is as we get our steel situation leveled out, we will be able to, and I will maximize it out more, but we'll be able to ramp up our production. I don't think we're necessarily making money, and the single biggest thing that happened to get us that increase, and I parked this guy back up, was our exporting the fuel and bitumen. So I'm definitely interested as a pretty high priority in getting my little distribution network going, right? Where we can steadily, see we're back up on the bitumen again. We're back up on the fuel. How are we doing in the, yeah, see we could actually restart this guy again, but we really don't need the money, right? I mean, this isn't a game about becoming the richest person in the world. 22 million, or really, you know, what, $40 million or rubles, however you want to do the exchange of money, 35 million probably rubles, you know, is enough for my yachts that I need as premier. All right, so let's see. Come on, how are we doing over here? I may pause it until this gets done, because that's, well, no, you know what? We could talk about one other thing. Now, are you guys working on two things, or why are we, yeah, why do we seem slow? Yeah, why aren't we working on this one? Did I not tell you to work on that one? You're going someplace else. Where the heck are you going? I don't know where you're... Are you even part of this crew? Like... What's that say? Power plants, rail construction. Yeah, off he goes. Lord knows where. Huh. Do we have a one-way situation? No, but you should still... Yes, we do, but... Yeah, you know what? That might be the problem. Let's cancel both. Is that other guy working, or is he... No. Let's just cancel both of these. And let's go and put in some signaling. We'll just make them regular signals for now. Right? So there we go. So yeah, let's just... Yeah, I think that might be what's... Now, do we have one-ways? Not two-way. Oh, is that two-way? Yeah, this is... Why do we have two ways, one way? Maybe I just was... Yeah, so I get tired of changing these from two-way to one-way. So now when we do this, hopefully they won't cause problems, but... I think part of the problem is they were going like around the world to try to get back in on this or something. Alright, so this one, I don't want to send them both out on the same track. Yeah, you go up to there. Alright, now. By the way, this guy gets his steel from here. So that's why it's kind of good the way it's working out. I can, because I sent the steel train to here first, the other ones get neglected, but I'm not that worried about their construction, right? And then the one over by Revergrad has that single truck that's just sort of making sure we don't produce too much. So we've got a really nice little, for what we have, it's going to force us to focus on getting the steel done, right? And then when we go to do all of this stuff that I'm waving my fingers at, or my mouse at, you know, that we'll have the steel coming right to here. So that's about as good as it's going to get, right? All right, so anyway. Yeah, so these guys should be okay for a little while. They're both heading out, different tracks, most wonderful. Yeah, instead of pausing, we'll let them finish up. It shouldn't take them too overly long. Yeah, this track needs to be done by these guys, but they don't have any steel. I wanted to take a minute to talk about the fields and the farms. It's just exactly what I intended. Thank you guys for your comments. I really do appreciate it. Even if I disagree, it's not in a disagreement with you personally. It is a conversation about the facts that I don't agree with the facts or your perspective, but that's okay. That's what a conversation is sometimes. So in any event, if we take a look at this, one of the things that I never really considered is, could we try to do this a little more efficiently? And based on the tests, one of the things I might have underestimated and what I would have done different with these farms is two things. I definitely think, like I said in past videos and in the test, the bigger farms are the way to go. And you should always consider the layout. Like, I think we would really have been better off trying to put all of the farms more in the middle, like maybe even over here, right? I don't think I'm going to change it because, you know what, it's all good enough. But if you really wanted to be efficient, it's hard to underestimate. I mean, it definitely, the most inefficiency between a big field and a little field or medium, it doesn't matter, is the time it takes to go back from the field to the farm. So when they go to do this field over here, it just takes them a year and a half, right, to get over here. Now, the other thing to say is there's been some comments and questions. So in other words, just layout. I mean, I think if you could do medium fields more effectively than having these like big fields all goofy way up here, you're going to be more efficient, right? Like if you deliberately made your big fields less efficient than a medium field layout, you know, it's going to be a problem for you. So the other thing to say is this is 12 fields per farm. If you had a better layout than this, I think you could get more done. Like if we kept an eye on this, I bet you maybe these fields are never getting harvested as a possibility. And then the only other thing I would say is that that's kind of what you want. If you think about it, you always want the fields growing. I mean, in a perfect world, you would, you know, have just the right balance. But I think the most effective way to be effective is to always have the maximum number of fields being harvested. And I say that because, as a general statement, the harvesters are the slowest process, right? They're definitely faster in sowing the fields than they are. And you want as many fields. Look at this, crops ready to transport. See, this is the kind of problem that you have if the reason I think I'm having that is because some of the fields are far away, and I really would like to at some point upgrade. Like, you might almost be better off with asphalt roads if you really want to be efficient. And the reason being that these trucks, you know, on the dirt roads just really take a hit. So like the fact that they're trying to go up to this dirt road and pick up crops is just really killing these trucks as far as their efficiency goes. So it may well be worth it, especially after we get like a buildup of food and you know, to hurt our efficiency a little while, to upgrade all these to asphalt roads. The other problem is I don't really have a construction crew that's that particularly close, so it's going to be pretty painful to get all that upgraded, right? But at the same time, we could do it, you know, one way or the other, even if it means a few farms don't get harvested right away. But yeah, in my testing and in my farms, I usually put just one, what I'll call 4-4-4, right? 4 tractors, 4 harvesters, 4 trucks. I think that there's room for testing, and this is not the best field situation to really test it in, right? Because it's kind of an awkward situation. This is the kind of, you know, like, but if you had a better layout where the farms were more centralized, I think, you know, I've been using, probably easier just to go and purchase, even though we can't purchase. If we look, you know, I do have the fastest tractors here. With those fastest tractors, I never really tested the harvesting, right? Yeah, the harvester we have is this one. Yeah, which is speed, or I'm sorry, yeah, this one. Speed, the fastest ones we could get, right? So this is still far slower than what the tractors can sow. You might be able to get an extra harvester in here if you got rid of one of the tractors. But then if you look, our trucks are already not keeping up with getting the crops off the field. So like in this particular case, you might want to consider, because the fields are so laid out poorly, and that's affecting the truck. Well, not even that they're laid out poorly, but they got all these dirt roads. You know, you could consider in this situation trying to get rid of one of the tractors and then maybe adding an additional truck, right? And be a little more efficient. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is we're not using all this corn, right? Because we're just the only place we were trying to export some of it, but then we have this little goofy issue that we talked about before. See where that train fills up to 69. So let's send this guy on his way, right? Yeah, and again, by the way, I didn't do anything about it because, remember, we're about to fire up 6 new bakeries and delete that one. So that will just have a number of crop trains that are coming in and coming back over to here. So now I do want to think about the crop trains. Yeah, it's been a little while since I really studied this. One of the mistakes I kind of made, and I thought about it, was we're going to need 3 separate crop trains, right? And I think that's what we're going to go with to start. But either that, or I wonder if we can connect them in between. Like, in other words, you might consider taking a track from here to here so that you could it would just be a loop, right? So you always just dropped off to this one, and then you dropped off to this one, and then you dropped off to this one. Now, the problem with that is that, you know, are you then, like what my plan was, and the reason I did it this way was to say, okay, well, now I want a train or 2 sitting here full, train or 2 sitting here full. You get the idea. So we might have 6 trains that just sat there. Well, if this one, for whatever reasons, ran out of grain, you know, and this one didn't, if you had just a loop, they might block each other off, right? If you told them to each go to the stop and drop off and then keep going. So I think for maximizing it out, this is probably better as long as you can afford the trains, right? And we might have our actual first electric train. Oh, no, we can't because we got to get this. No, you know what? He could go up and spin around, couldn't he? Yeah, as long as we have all the tracks electrified. All right, so there we go. How are we doing on our electric tracks over here? We got one more little section there. Yep, we're good here. What are we doing on our projects? All right, so are you... Okay, that is the one we're working on. All right, well, there we go. I think we're... Yeah, you know what? We don't need to worry about that because other than the fact that he might be in the way, yeah, let's go spend some money on a train. See how this goes, because we need to get that train to where the people can get, then we could go around and like move some people. So let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, that's just diesel. All right, so we're gonna, I don't think we can get that other electric locomotive down here. So electric locomotives, I don't think we need the biggest one in the world, right? I mean, I guess we should just plan on the same one, and I guess we should get the fast ones, or, you know, I don't know how fast they really need to be. I don't think they're going to get up to, like, top speed. I don't know, let's go with a green one, just because it's the first one on the list, and it seems pretty reasonable, and if we don't like it, we can go with something else down the road, and I'm not going to buy 2 until we get, so let's see, let's do a little calculating. What did we say? Isn't there like around 2,000 people here? So it's 170 times 3 shifts, right? Plus we're going to need more people in town for, but this is just the start. 170 times 3 is 510, and then there's 6 factories, so times 6 is 3,000 people. And let's assume that a third of those, 1,000, are going to need to get, you know, within 8 hours, going to need to get around. So I don't know how exactly long it's going to take this guy to go around the loop, but if we came back to here, what becomes a reasonable number of people. 115. Yeah, now does this passenger car limit? Yeah, see this one's lighter, but I say we go for the one that holds this, and then I don't know, if we did 4 cars, that would be like 600 people. I tend to think that would be enough, right? Ouch, look at that price. There goes all our money. Guess we're exporting fuel and bitumen to the ruble people. All right, there we go. So we have a passenger train, electric. All right, please, when I go and click on this thing, tell me I'm attached. Please. Yeah, don't start. So what do we want to do? For now, we just want this guy to come to here. You know what? I'm going to have him start here and here for now, right? Just in case. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I don't think they make a return trip, do they? First of all, let's take off all the students. We don't want any students coming down there. That's one of the reasons I built the schools where I did. And when it comes to these 2 stops, I just want them to unload, right? Like, people don't come back, I don't think. They just go there. But we're going to keep a close eye on this. So people can get in at either one of these 2 stops, and then they can get out over here. So let's cross our fingers and keep our eye. Let's ready, set, go. Hey, let's go jump over to them. Okay, look at that. Woohoo. That's a pretty big passenger train. But that's all right. Like I said, this is a good chance to test this stuff. Believe it or not, for all my hundreds of hours, this is my first electric rail train because I build in such an archaic, slow fashion with the construction. But you know what? In some ways in life, it all makes it more worth it. When you take on something that's more challenging and you don't, you postpone that instant gratification and you do the hard work, and I don't know, it puts a bigger smile on my face. That's for sure. I'm proud of this moment, in other words. All right, so we get that one little bit of track done. Yes. Now, when we get in here, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna come up here, and yeah, it's this loop that we're worried about, right? Oh, you know what? No. Yeah, we want to. This train's pretty long. We're not going to be stingy with our. Yeah, and then when he gets out of the station, that's fine. Nope, I did the same thing again, didn't I? Let's make sure. Yep, let's not do the same thing a third time. You know what? We're going to put you all the way back here. Geez, another one. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to put one because I don't want him stopping any vehicles there. Yeah, so this needs to be one way this way. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I need that signal. This one can stay 2-way because I want him to be able to get back out, right? Well, whatever. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. And yeah, we'll have to put one like here, and let's put one just where they hopefully won't mess up the. Yeah, we'll put it where they hopefully won't mess up the road traffic. That might be a problem with this guy stopped in this station anyway. I don't know what's going on down here, so we'll just put one in there. Yeah, we need these just to keep them keep them from having a problem there. Okay, so what happened with our train? Oh, he's going around. All right, so now what I would like to do is take this moment and go take a look at moving people in. So one of the things we need to do, we need to move people in first. I want to pause it because I want to start by straightening out our towns, and I don't want these people to move right back in. So in other words, here's electrical flats, right? And maybe we'll come over here. I want to up, I deliberately didn't do this. All right, here is, I want to up the number of educated people and take the people out and put them in our new town, right? Does that make sense? So there's Lambriska. And then this is this. So we can, while we're doing this, we can take the regular people out and put them back and all that kind of hoop-de-doo. Yeah, see, we're getting down in the number of educated. Now we could fire up. Ooh, we could fire up a university soon. I'm just feeling like this episode's like, what do they call it? A watershed moment where you just get, you know, you work your tail off. Yeah, this is, we don't really need to redo people here. This is where we would pick up. Yeah, there we go. The actual educated. So let's. One thing I've learned to do. Okay, lots of educated down here. Lots of educated. That's what we need. That should be enough to get us started. But yeah, we can fire up another university over there, huh? So we might not have to really have too much. Now, so one of the things I've learned, by the way, is it just doesn't hurt. Come here and relocate all of your citizens, thank you, into here. Not all of them, but whatever ones it'll take, because they're never the educated ones. Does that make sense? Like, in other words, sometimes it's a pain to get the educated ones. Ooh, this building is full. Oh, okay, so that building is full. No. Let's see. I wish there was a little better indicator. The better indicator is leave this open. So is that one? Yeah, that's good. So we'll get people who are eligible for education in there, right? Yeah, so that's, why not? In other words, so you need to take people out of this building anyhow. Sometimes it works out. I need to take a 2-minute break, and then I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. All I did in between was open up a couple extra windows over there. So let's see. I think we have enough to... Oh, you know what? Did we ever open? No, we didn't get any. So we need to get some people out of these buildings, right? And this building. All right, so let's head up to here. And yeah, this is only 75 in Energenisk flats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate. Well, you know what? Right here. We only need. We'll fill this guy up with educated from Energenisk. Right? How many is in this one? 75. Yeah, that's right. Because that's all we have in Energenisk is my favorite tall flats, right? All right, so that building's full, right? So we have enough educated now in Neuve Revergrad. And yeah, I'm kind of curious, will some of them go... Well, let's not worry about firing up the university. So let's take this flat and say, you guys are going to go teach in the Neuve Revergrad school. So there we go. So educated people are now taken care of. So what I'm going to do is then take you know, it's going to be a lot of back and forth. So I think I'm going to cut it just for the sake of the video. It's not too long, but this is more about firing up bakeries than just moving people around. So what I'm going to do is just try to, you know, take more of the uneducated out of these other buildings, right? You know, and then just, you know, we'll have to go back and move educated back in, right? So it's just going to be a bit of a pain. You know, I'll fill this one up and then go retake the educated back out, and just, it's probably going to take me like, I bet you 10 or 15 minutes just to sit here doing this, right? So let me do that. Let me fill up these buildings with regular workers, and then distribute, you know, my what do you call it, my educated workers to where they need to go, and then I'll come right back, right? So all you're going to miss is me clicking and jumping around, and, you know, we'll get all our schools back as best we can, back to full strength. All right, talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, we got the people moved around. So I think I probably start up time, but let's just keep a pause for one more second. So how many people should we move in here? What I'm thinking of is, I looked at the number of adults, or plus 21s. Why don't we try to move about 1,200 more people in here, right? So what I did was I just went around, and from each of the towns, I gathered up some people. So I don't know how many of these windows I have open, but it's, you know, may or may not be enough. But this one has 179, so we'll just try to keep, you know, it's not that exacting, but we'll try to fill some of these up, right? So let's try to keep a loose count, right? Let's take this one down to 50. So that's in the neighborhood of 120. This guy also had 179, so we'll take this one down to 50 as well. So that's in the neighborhood of 240. Oops. What happened there? Not sure. Doesn't matter. There we go. And that's 360, right? This one only has 75, so that one's already full. So that should be like 420. We'll give it one more shot. So 480. Probably should have skipped this part too. Just describe to you guys what I did. So that's 520. Let's fill up some of these little houses down this way. So that's 580. Whatever we get here is what we get. So that's going to be, what's 640? So what's that, 720? $780. And in the neighborhood of 900. Whatever we get, right? So let's call that 960. 1,000. Okay, close enough, right? Enough of that anyway. All right, so let's play time and see what happens. Now, the other thing we should do while we play time, look at that. They're just rushing like mad people to get to the train. Is the train still running, I hope? Where is the train? I don't even see the train. Let's pause again. Where the heck did our train go? Did I not set up a proper train loop? I thought I did. Related vehicles. Oh, you're right on the bridge. That's what I didn't see. Now, wait a minute. Why are you on that bridge? All right, well, let's go take a look here. Did I not? Yeah, let's see what he's doing, because we really need him not on this track. One of the ways here, let's do this too. Let's just pause it real quick so he doesn't get ahead of us. So this one, let's make this one go the opposite direction. Right, so we'll have this one going that way, and then we'll even a few yeah, coming out of here. Yeah, you know what I'm not even going to do is stop in between there. Yeah, I don't really like that. Yeah, so this guy doesn't have anywhere to stop along here at this point. So we'll just put a signal in to kind of keep them flowing. Not that I expect anybody on here too soon. Let's get rid of this one. No, this is just a railroad. I thought that was a train station. So let's... Alright, that should stop him from wanting to go to the stations that way, right? Where is he heading to at this moment? Yeah, good. At least he hasn't gotten a... What do you call it? Symbol. You know what? You might as well go back to this one. Get some people, right? Jeez Louise, look at that. Yeah, I want to make sure these people are happy. And then as soon as I can see that this train's going in the right direction. Yeah, let's keep that open for half a second. There we go, look at that. Tons of people. Number of students, yeah, you know what, let's... No students. No students. Yeah, by the way, I'm wondering if they'll... you know what, eventually we might want students for the university, right? For now, we're just going to take off students from there. So good, we got quite a few passengers. Does it say how full it is? Not really, just... Yeah, so... Yeah, we definitely, I think, want another train, don't we? Yeah, now timing these guys... Yeah, let's go over and duplicate this locomotive. So we got the green one. And then we got... Which kind of passenger wagon is it? This past RT200. 2, 3, 4. All right, so now let's, yeah, I can't, can I click on that guy through the depot? No. All right, so I guess I just have to set him up to go someplace, and then we can, once he gets out in the open, then I can click on him. No. No, go here first. And then here. Yeah, so start, eyeball you, come over here to copy. There we go. All right, so what I'll have to do is when they get up there, I want to space them out evenly. And then I think with the two of them, that'll be enough to get us started, and then we'll go see about getting the corn flowing, right? and then we'll set up a bus. But the timing is going to depend on when this guy gets over here, which is a little bit hard to predict. All right, that's not like he's real close. So when he gets in here, what I'll do is I'll like reverse the course of one of them to slow them down, depending on the exact timing of him getting into this location. Let's fast forward time a little bit. I'm not a big fast forwarder of time in this usually because I'm always so busy. Yeah, I think, look, they take all of them away, but then they build back up like really quick. Now I expect that this is a bit of a surge, but I'd rather have a few extra, or I'd rather have an extra train than not enough of one. Okay, so let's say he's getting into the loop. Boy, that was pretty good luck. Yeah, you know what, though? I want you to... Yeah, turn around. Yeah, let's let the other guy get ahead more. Like when that guy's here at one of these stops, we'll let this guy go back forward again. Right, maybe when he, yeah, right when he gets to about there, we'll... Yeah, reverse again. Good. Now, one of the things I'm really curious with the trains is if they stay staggered, right? There's no reason that these guys should jam each other up. And they're about opposite of each other, so... Yep, there you go. Pick up your speed a little bit now. So how are we doing in the train platform? Yeah, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape as far as, you know, hopefully... Now, do we have people? Oh, we don't have food and stuff. Okay, okay. You know what? Just purchase. For now, emergency. Where's the pub? Purchase. Should be all the purchasing we need. Now, is there anybody in here? Yeah, we have shoppers. Let's just do the same thing here. Yeah, these are the little things you forget. At least we noticed before a catastrophe happened, right? So that'll cost us some money. Look, we're down to 10 million buying those trades. All right, so speaking of down to 10 million, let's go over here, and I want to modify... Let's modify this guy a little bit. And I want you to come back to oil trawl. I don't know if it's going to matter if we... Yeah, and then we're going to go all the way up to Molna. And then I want you to... Okay, you're getting fuel the other time, so load up with the bitumen, and then we might as well... Right? Wait, start. Good. So that should give us some more rubles coming in. Hopefully we don't forget about that guy. All right, so there we go. Phase 1, people. And then we just need to make sure we get happy people. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So now let's talk about our corn train, which is probably going to be easiest to find here. So that's a food train, corn train, put off to the side, corn train. Now one of these corn trains goes to get chemical stuff, so we don't want to mess with him. So this guy's going to Chemsol, so he's not the official one. Now what I want to do is one of these guys empty? Yes. You know what? Go back to the depot. You know what? Go to this depot for now. Yeah. Oh, he had a little food. That's all right. He's a food train anyway, right? All right. So I'm not going to necessarily shut this food off until we get the other one going. But we got the trains heading out, and yeah, so this guy can stay there. We'll have the other train there. So this locomotive is going to, at this point, yeah, we're going to get rid of that stop. You are going to go from where you are and load, but then instead of going there, I want you to come to here and unload everything and wait. Right? And you are a full train, so we're just going to send you right there. Cool. So he should be on his way back. Let's take a look. No. What's going on here? How did that happen? Where are you at? Oh, geez. We got a whole... That caused the whole thing, didn't it? Do we have the right signals? No. That's what caused it. There we go. That. Let's get rid of, even though... Well, let's see. Should be okay. I think it was just the fact we didn't have a chain signal there messed us up. Alright, so yeah, you need to go down there and turn around. Hopefully you can. Alright, well, unfortunately our train is as far away as he possibly could be. But, so do we want to talk about another electric train? We don't really have a ton of money. Let's see how much... I mean, we don't want to make these things overly long that they clog up the whole works, right? I don't think they need to be that big and long. But let's get a red train, because it's red. Do we have a red one that's more powerful? Yeah, that's 5,000. Yeah, that's a $3 million train. Ouch. We're going to take our chances. Cargo wagon. And we want box car, but we want the bigger box car, right? 55. Well, there's really not too much difference, are there? 30 kilometers, 30 kilometers, 30 kilometers. Okay, well, that's not very impressive, is it? Well, if they're all the same speed, and they're pretty much all the same weight, okay, down to 6 million. All right, that'll be the last food, crop train. But I want to make sure we have enough of them. So let's come here and... Yeah, you're going to have to go around and turn around, but I want you to go from here to here and load up some corn and wait. And unload some corn and wait. Right? At least he seems to be moving out, right? So let's shrink these guys off to the side. And we'll keep an eye on them. And let's just go see how are people getting happier. Well, there's not 7 million of them sitting at the stop. So let's see. Are we still kind of in the opposite? Well, the one seems to be catching up a little bit, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the way it looks, right? Yeah, we are getting some escapees, I think. And how is our... Oh, yeah, look, we're down to 85 plus 21s. Which is kind of good, I guess. Means we're growing our population again. Now, do they need to come back is the other question. Like, is that a problem? And then we need to get supplies up here, which we'll probably do in the next episode, because now what I want to do is come over to our closest depot, and this is going to be the fiasco. Now, we have a German bus, and we have a lot of American dollars. So let's get the biggest capacity 129 there. How fast is that? 72. Yeah, let's go with 72, 129 so far, right? Let's go over to the rubles, even though... Yeah, so that... Oops, I can't see. 135.63. Yeah, since we have the money for it, let's come back over here. And this 72 and 129 seems to be... So I'm going to get 4 of these buses. Right? And then these bus stops, where are they? Over here. Passengers or students waiting there. Yeah, so that's good. Get rid of them. And then I close the buses. Let's open up each of the buses. Or 2 of the buses anyway. Right, and then one of them's going to go to 1 stop for now, because why not? All right, and then it's going to come over to... Yeah, this bus stop. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do... Yeah, and then this guy, you know what, they're not going to be as evenly distributed. Yeah, let's go back and get... So there you go. Those 2 are going to the 1 bus stop. Let's come over here and open up the other 2 buses. Oh, that's not a bus. All right, so and then let's get back over here. Now these 2 will come over to this other bus stop. All right, and then this bottom guy here, not that it really matters, will come to this one. These 2 and this one will go to that one. Does that make sense? So this one's going to this one. Now this bus stop, food factories, fire station, and then we're just going to have a small number of, very small number of those people. I guess 4% is probably good. We want to keep some firefighters, right? And the reason I'm dividing it up like this is because then this guy, yeah, 2 and 3. Is this 2 and 3? Good. We already had that one set up. Yeah, I think now I remember changing that one. Now this guy, this is 2, right? Well, that's just food factory. So we're not going to, what is this one? Food factory 2. So let's take food factory 2 off of here, right? Because we don't want them sending people, because that's not going to get any corn, right? Only these 2 will get any corn, or these 4, I'm sorry. So I hope that all made sense. Rewind it if it didn't. It made sense to me, even if what I said didn't make 100% sense. Oh, wait. This is the first one, needs to come to here. I really don't want to close these. Yeah, so this guy's going to the first stop. So let's start him and him. We'll leave them open for a second. So those 2 are each going to different... See, this one's going to number 2. So they should be leaving... Yeah, so this guy's going to number 2. This guy's going to number 1. So... Oh, no, that is the bus platform. Where's our other... Yeah, this... Or no number, but number 1, right? Yeah, so let's close that. And how is our corn guys doing? They still have corn in them. This guy's still... Oh, this guy's dropping off. Alright, so let's make sure... At least he made it that far in his trip. Yep, look, we're filling up there. No workers. That's alright. We're working on that. Now, when these guys get to there... Man, it's gonna, again, kind of hard to time them out 100%, isn't it? It's going to take them a little... Well, you know what? It'll probably take them about, yeah, when they get to here, or, you know, maybe not, there they are right there. When they get to the, real close to the station, I'll send the other two. So that way, hopefully, we staggered them a bit, right? I don't know how, you know, we might have to do the turnaround thing. Close enough. We can always do the turnaround thing. Alright, so how many workers are we getting? 38. That's not nearly enough. But we can start assigning. Yeah, get out of my view. I can't see. Yeah, I kind of want to assign the people that are on this side to here. So that's 2 of them assigned to that one. Let's just start out with 2 of them assigned over here. We might want to build those other houses, right? This is all a bit of an experiment. So did we pick people up in the buses yet? Where's their buses? They're going to get fuel because we don't have fuel down here. That was an oversight. Well, this is why we do these things, right? Do we have a fuel depot in here? No, we really probably want 2, don't we? So let's go ahead and not build a pipeline. Build a road. Gas station. Would it fit in there? No, you just don't want to fit in there. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't want them driving all over. Will you fit in here? No. How about over here? Yes. There we go. So we'll have a gas station there. Yeah, let's see. Can we extend the asphalt road out a little bit and still fit that guy in? No. Well, that's not, you know what, that's not a road anyway. That's the end of the bus stop. All right, well, I think I'm just going to put them right there. It'll be on the main road. It won't be the end of the world as we know it. All right, so let's get somebody working on that. And I think we're going to have to wait until the next episode to see. So we'll get that guy working there, even though we do probably have a better road construction crew to assign to that, right? Yeah, this guy's not doing anything, so you get up here and you do that. All right, let's see. Let's see if we gotten, well, no, we probably didn't get any workers. But even if the episode goes long, let's just see us produce. Now, where are you going? You know, you probably need to go get fuel, don't you? But, yeah, what are you, oh, are you just, all right, we needed to. So you were this guy, right? Yeah, so you flip around. Okay. Okay, this guy's coming in the right way. That guy might have come the other way because he was coming from the other way, if that makes sense. Like he wasn't necessarily on what I'd call his normal see, this should be a chain signal there. All right, well, what I think I'm going to do is cut the episode because I think I'm getting kind of, we're going to get kind of way over here. And we do have some corn in each one, so let's see. Is our buses... Here we go. Here comes a bus. And it's got 45 workers. Is that the first bus? I don't see anybody else. So I think that's our first bus of workers. And unfortunately, well, it will leave a suspense, right? Like many TV shows and entertainers, like leave you an suspense. So let's just see the crops, you know, the first crops get made, and then we'll come back and we'll actually see how things are going. I'm going to record these episodes back to back. So if you have comments and you're watching it on the first day it goes up, don't just know that I might not be able to get to, or I might not react to your comments in the next video, right? I'll still get to your comments. All right, come on, buddy. Let's zoom in. I want to turn around so we're not going backwards. The texture of the bridge looks a little bit funny, doesn't it? Looks like graded or something. But it's supposed to be asphalt, I think. Oh, look, there's people. Oh, they came from the other. Oh, look, we didn't get this road built. That could be a problem, actually. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if they're gonna. Oh, it doesn't connect to anything. Okay. You know what, we're just going to purchase this then. But you know what, they're walking around. That's good too. But we're still just going to purchase it. There we go. So we got people in both of them. Oh, where are you going? Oh, you're going... Oh, yeah, we didn't build any of the roads. Okay, you know what, let's... Dude, you are... This is why we do testing, right? Oh, look, we didn't complete quite a few things down here. Okay, well, there you go. So that's why we test. All right, did we make some corn? Yeah, I see smoke coming out. Not corn. Did we make some... We're making some food. All right, guys. I better go just because the episode's too long. Like I said, I'm going to do these back to back. So I will do an introduction and we'll do again tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for sticking with me until we got something actually completed. It feels like it's been quite a while. I don't know which episode we started all this mess in, but it's been quite a while. So thanks for sticking with me so long. And now you can actually see my thing worked. All right, guys. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.